Coming to you completely, entirely pre-recorded from the Garage of Solitude, I'm Mario Francisco Robles.
I'm Brett Miro. Put on your capes and wipe your ass because it's episode 153 of the Fanboy podcast.
Yes, it is. Brett, what have you been watching or playing this week?
Well, I think I'm just going to keep it short because I got one thing and it's a real damn good thing this week. All right.
Oh,
And it happened today, the day that we are recording this
a
podcast.
good thing happened today?
Okay. A good thing happened today. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, the new nostalgia fueled throwback beat 'em up video game launched today. And if you're an Xbox Game Pass
No.
subscriber, it's free and included. And
Oh,
if
it's
you're
an
not,
Xbox thing.
it's on every system though.
Oh,
And if you are going to buy it, I think it's like $22.50. And let me tell you, I played the
I need
first
that.
5 levels
Yeah.
and it's fucking awesome. Like
I need that in my life.
if you're like a male over 30, this is like it's the best thing ever. Like everyone was just talking about it today on Twitter. Everyone's like, why do I have a job? Why can't I just be playing this right now? So I
Yeah.
got home, I used my Xbox Game Pass app to download it to my console, and then when I got home it was ready to go. So quick little rundown. So basically this is a 2D side scroller beat 'em up, like the old Ninja Turtle games, heavily inspired by the original arcade game and Turtles in Time, which was in
Oh,
the arcade
wow.
and on Super Nintendo. And let me tell you, there is so much love in this game and nostalgia and Easter eggs, and it's phenomenal. It's a 2D sprite style. The
Yeah.
animation is gorgeous and beautiful. All of the voices are done by the original animated TV show
No
voice cast.
way.
They did a
That's
great
incredible.
animated intro for it as well with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song. Uh, April and Splinter are also playable characters in addition to the Turtles, and they announced that as a secret unlockable character, Casey Jones is included in there. It includes online co-op and couch co-op, and you can play up to 6 players at one time.
Is there
So
cross-platform play?
there is not cross-platform, which
Ah,
kind of
okay.
blows. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing that stinks. But I mean, it is awesome. Another really cool thing, Wu Tang recorded a song, like an awesome, like really great beat about the Ninja Turtles, and it's in the game.
Are
Also,
you
they
kidding
took
me?
old tracks from the old games and remixed them. So there's some of those Turtles in Time like songs that were playing in the background in the arcade game. There's new music that's heavily inspired. Everything about this game is perfect. Like just from
Wow.
even like the voices are a little bit like down sampled, so they sound a little shittier than they should. But it's awesome. It's just like a little extra modern touches and flourishes. And what I'll say too is they did it's not as frustrating as some of the or as button mashy necessarily as the old
Okay.
games. So you're still tapping the button, beating
Yeah.
people up. But they because there's more buttons on the controllers now, they just like made everything a lot better. Like every turtle has like a attack that is kind of like a shoryuken. It like rises up and hits people in the air. It's easier to execute. They've added like these cool special meters that build up and then you can use them, once your meter hits. There's like leveling up, so you upgrade your hit points, you unlock new abilities and skills, and there's a little more depth to the combat. It's a little more skill based. You can actually dodge now. There's not really a lot of like frustrating like attacks. There's definitely a little more like I said, it's more skill based. It's not just bash the
Yeah.
buttons and then you get hit by like an unfair move. So they
Okay.
they did all the right little tweaks, and it feels just like a modern, released in 2022 old school style brawler. It's I can't stop raving about it. Like I said, I
Yeah.
played like 5 levels, and I think there's like 16 total, and there's a
Yeah.
story mode. So there's collectibles, there's all these level challenges, so there's a lot of replayability. And then also, you can like upgrade and level up each turtle. There's also an arcade mode, which is just like level to level, none of the little world map stuff, no collectibles. And I think all the abilities are unlocked from the get go, and you can just kind of keep replaying that and plow through. I've heard it's about maybe like 2 hours to beat total. So it's just something you
Yeah.
can just keep running, having fun with your friends. And yeah,
Or
I
your
think I've said
son, because it's funny you mentioned this. A few months
enough.
back, my son Sebastian and I, we got on a kick of playing those kind of old school 2D beat 'em
Yeah,
ups. We
this
were
is
doing
perfect
Double
for you guys.
Dragon, we were doing Final Fight, and Streets of Rage. We were doing all these kinds of ones with that style. And we were obsessed with those. And I remember at the time thinking it would be so cool if those old Ninja Turtle games were available. but I know that like with the licensing and Konami and Ninja,
Right.
I wasn't sure if we ever could. But now to hear this, now I'm gonna be
This is the
buying
best
that
thing.
immediately.
Perfect.
Yeah,
You guys will
that's,
enjoy the hell out of it. It's awesome.
yeah. And all right,
They,
so that's what you've been playing. Have you been watching anything interesting aside from what we're going to
um,
talk about at the end of this episode?
yeah, I don't think I've checked out yet anything like new other than like stuff I addressed last week and the stuff we're going to talk about in the show. So I figure we'll
Okay.
just stick to that.
Got it. Well, for me, look, my schedule's been a little bit crazy, so I haven't had a ton of viewing time, but I have actually been sneaking in some stuff. So I finally dove into the current season of Barry on HBO. I love me some Bill Hader. I love me Henry Winkler. I mean, that series, Barry, is excellent. I don't know if have you had a chance to check it out?
I think Jesse and I had watched it, but I think we
Yeah.
might have dropped off somewhere midway or
Okay.
towards the end of season 2. I don't
Yeah.
think we finished it. So I need
Got
to
it.
go back and maybe catch up. But
Yes,
it's
you
something I
do.
actually do plan to do. Yeah.
Yes, you do. Because
I've
season
heard
3
season 3
is
is great.
crazy. Lots of crazy twists, lots of things that like lots of things that subvert your expectations to about what the show is and how we feel about our protagonist. And yeah, no, Barry's been season 3 has been fire. I also watched the 4-part mini series that just hit Netflix called Keep Sweet. Pray and Obey. It's a documentary series on Warren Jeffs and the fundamentalist church of whatever Latter Day Saints. I don't know what they're called, but some crazy
Right.
polygamist cult. And I'm into cult documentaries. I'm fascinated by how these people are able to, fool all these people into thinking they know the secrets of life and how people just like hand over their freedoms to these lunatics. And, I've always been fascinated by cults. So Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey perfectly hit the spot on that. When it
My
comes
friend
to
keeps telling me to keep sweet and
oh,
texting me
no,
that, and I have no idea what he's talking about, and it sounds so creepy. And now I have to
it
watch the
is.
documentary.
Now you have to. You really do. Um, but also then in terms of gaming, kind of bringing it back to playing games with my son, I'm happy to report that since we last recorded, my son and I have played and defeated Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch. And that was
Oh, the
so
remake,
cool.
right? The
Yeah,
cool
the
little
remake.
remake.
Yes, and
Very
me and
neat.
my son, we played through the whole thing together. He beat the final bosses and the final dungeon by himself. I just kind of stood back and gave him pointers.
Awesome.
It was very, very satisfying. It was very cool, and to have my son beat a Zelda game and roll credits at the end, I was
Yeah.
like, "Good for you, way to go!" Now you're off to the races. Now you're ready to do some real gaming. So
Right.
yeah, Link's Awakening was a thing, and now we've started the HD remaster of Skyward Sword, which I know that's like your favorite story.
It's
So
story wise, it's my
yeah,
favorite Zelda story. I know a lot of people are really sour on that game, but I really like the story wise. But yeah, I know I understand gameplays wise, it's a little bit of a detour. And then if you go and play Breath of the Wild now, it feels like so restrictive compared to how free
oh
Breath of the
really?
Wild. The story
Well,
is top notch.
yes, yes. So we started that 2 nights ago, and that's probably going to take us a while to get through. But yeah, so that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm playing.